Hey there, it's your good friend Troy Dillinger. Welcome to installment 3, episode number 3 of my Patreon. We talk about stand-up comedy, we talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about trying to live kind of a positive life and grow spiritually and grow as a person. If I look like I'm lit for a horror movie, it's because I've just got, I'm using my phone, I'm holding my phone up for a high light, and then I've got a little camping light for a low light. So I look a little kind of Frankensteinish. I just adjusted the lighting. That would have taken a crew of people all day. See, this is my phone. I'm just using my phone to light my face. So when you join my Patreon, you help me buy more gear. I'm on the roof of my apartment. It's just beautiful back here. Behind me, we're looking northwest up into the Hollywood Hills. Just out of frame is the world famous Comedy Store, and that's one of the things about my check-in this week that I'm really grateful for. It wasn't long ago that I was driving in this neighborhood looking for a place to park and going, God, I wish I could live here. And man, here I am. I live here. I live here. This is my home. In my Facebook memories, there popped up this thing from 2 years ago today where I was standing in front of the Comedy Store and I posted, you know, I'm in Mecca. And I had no idea 2 years ago that I would be living 1 block away in this amazing place. I gotta express my gratitude, and I gotta talk about how dreams come true. I didn't bully or manipulate my way into it. It's just happened. It's been like magic. Me and some friends of mine talk about a lot. As if by magic, I'm here. And then again, at this time last year, I was also visiting, and I was also at the Comedy Store, and I was also talking about how much I love it here. I still had no idea that 1 year from then I would be living here. I'd be living 1 block away. I'm so fortunate. I'm so fortunate. I'm so lucky, and I'm so grateful. So here's this week in comedy. Last week was a really weird and difficult week with some really cool surprises. This week was no different. Well, I've learned that if I don't give purchase to the negative in my life and I focus on the positive, I get more positive. So what I'm saying is what I focus on increases. When I look at the negative, I focus on the negative, I get more negative. You may well be inclined to say that's bullshit, and I wouldn't blame you because I felt that way for a long time. And all I can do is say bookmark this in your memory, and if it ever comes to pass for you, I hope it will. It's been my experience, and it's taken me out of some difficult times and put me in some really magical times. So I don't want to focus on the negative, but I want to be honest with you guys. I've had some financial difficulties this week. I was, in April, I was in a rear end collision. It totaled my car. I was injured. I'm at this really interesting place financially where it appears as if I could run out of money. It's not far away. I'm like on the verge of running out of money because they won't pay me. They gave me a check and then they bounced the check. They paid for my car, but they shorted my credit union, and I mean, it's just incredible. So all I can say is I must have created that too. If I'm creating the good stuff, then I must be creating the bad stuff. I don't know why I gave myself this gift, and I try to remind myself that it's happening for me and not to me. And if that gives you piss shivers, you know, oh well. Deal with it. You came here to learn something. This is something different maybe for you, and so I hope it's helpful. And if you don't like it, I get it. It's okay. You don't have to. That aside, it's been easy to get into worry and doubt and fear. And here's what I'll say. There's always more money coming. I've run out of money before, and more money comes. That's the nature of money. Money comes unless you chase it away. Money comes. I used to think like, oh, I could give you a lot of examples that would prove that false. And the funny thing is so long as that was my mindset, I kept having money problems. And it's been a good year for me so far. I've come out here to Los Angeles, and for one reason or another, I haven't had a lot of work this year, and I've been able to live out here. and take care of my obligations back in Austin. So let's get into my check-in. I was able to shoot a lot of video this week. I did 6-7 spots. So last Monday I signed up at the Comedy Store for the potluck open mic. Didn't get picked. I walked down the hill to a coffee shop. I did a mic there. Very interesting crowd, and it wasn't my kind of crowd. It was actually kind of painful. And so then I walked down to Fairfax to Genghis Cohen. There's a mic there. I love that mic, but I didn't get pulled for it. So I finally got home at about 10:30. I didn't have to really pay anything. I bought some coffee, but I had to walk 2 or 3 miles, and it was a 4.5 hour investment, and I only got to go up for 3 minutes. And that's the kind of nights you get when you're doing open mics. That happens sometimes. But then Wednesday, I had this really magical night Wednesday. I went to this open mic in my neighborhood at the Venador Cafe. It's a small working mic. There's hardly anybody there, but you really work on material, and it's good, and you get a lot of time. I'm actually not here to do comedy. I own the place next door, and one of you fucking kids is parked in front of my dumpster. We figured out the whole Charlottesville thing at the table. Here's what you do. Nobody go protest except a clown flash mob. And that's it. Just like, we wrote that together. I've been a musician since I was 16 years old. The very first band I ever played with was I played in this soca calypso band from Trinidad and Tobago. I was the token white guy. I had a bass player, and so I was the bass player. And here's how it worked: I got paid 70% of what the other guys made, and then I was on cocaine because that's equality in America. But this week, I got my first Hollywood paycheck, you guys. My first, okay, yes, I will take that. I got rear-ended by a dude bro in a tricked out G-Wagon. So I'm rich. I'm fucking rich. I'm adding avocado on everything. Avocado toast 3 meals a day. Avocado for you, avocado for you. Look under your chair, there's avocado toast for everybody. And then I went from there over to the Clown House. And I'll show you some video. Take a look at this. I'm about to freak you the fuck out. Tonight, one of the open mics that I'm hitting is called Adam Barnhart's Clown House. I'm about to show you right now.
Oh, I saw. That's my point. And what's the rate like? I don't want to power it right now. Do you see the outlet or what? No, I have one. I just don't want to go. Oh, there. Yeah, plugged in again. I would have died. So look, born or soft? We don't want
So yeah, this is a real thing.
Yeah, you should. I don't, but you should. No, my internet's really whack. I called them and they're like, hey, look, it's the Wi-Fi. It's not ready. Oh, wow.
clown art on all the walls, clown knickknacks. Just everything about the place is clown motif, and quite frankly, it's freaky as fuck. That's the stage, and I can't help but think that this place, like at night it gets locked up, and I want to know how many people have been tied up on a chair on that little stage while Stuck in the Middle with You plays, and somebody gets all cut up by some freak in a clown outfit. Just a thought. I don't know if that's ever happened, but I'll bet you anything it has. I kind of inadvertently stumbled onto a little more kind of relaxed version of what I do. We did this really cool thing called clearing, where we just did like 3 minutes of talking about our day, and I was afraid about money. And I started talking, but you know, all the people who had gone up before me and talked were all having really like problems that were bigger than mine. People were having worse health problems than me, worse financial problems than me, worse life issues than me. And I finally realized, like, man, I got nothing to complain about. I mean, comparatively, I'm not going through that much. More money will come and I'll be okay. I'm being taken care of, and I get shown time and time and time again that I'm being taken care of. Thank you. I had so much fun doing this last week. I'm doing a Patreon, which is like a blog where you basically, it's like a crowdfunder where you're like, give me money so I can do creative shit, but I'll do the creative shit, then you give me the money. So I'm taping stuff. It's about doing stand-up comedy. I moved out here in January, and I was producing TV in Austin, and I'm a musician, and I moved out here to do more work, and so this kind of web series thing is following my progress in that. It's been a really interesting time. I got rear-ended, and the insurance company's been fucking me over for like 3 or 4 months, and I'm almost out of money, and I'm like freaking out, and it's the really awesome thing is I know money will come. That's just what happens. Money just comes. It just comes, and when I start focusing on other people and paying attention to them and giving and listening and caring, then if the money doesn't come, I get free of my bullshit and my fear. And there's this other guy that moved out here from Austin the same time I did, and he's crushing it. He's just killing it. He's booking all these great shows. He's a great networker, and there's times when I see him where I want to get jealous, and I know not to do that because that's some dangerous shit. It creates like this fucking negative thing. But what I did is he started a show, and I go support him at the show, and I said, let's go get coffee, and I just wanted to talk to him and like pump him up about what he's doing, because I want to be as successful as he is. And so I just wanted, like, what I think about, what do I want? I want people telling me I'm doing good. I want people asking how they can help me. I want people who will listen to me and let me tell them about the stuff I'm doing. So I just went to do that with this guy today. We went to coffee. He's in the same boat as me. He's out of money too. He thinks stuff isn't moving fast enough. He's like, you know, it's like, I'm like, dude, you've been out here 6 months. He's like, well, it's been 8 months. And I was like, okay, you've been here 8 months, and you're booking these killer shows. You've started your own show. You've got names on it, and it turned into this conversation where we talked about the philosophy of success and like having a positive attitude and how much faster it makes shit happen. Because it's not cool to have a positive attitude. It's not fucking cool. Especially not amongst us. Like, you come out here and you're not fucking surly, and people are like, yeah, fuck that guy, he's not a comic, you know? And so it's been really cool process giving and giving and giving, and I'm grateful. I'm really grateful to be doing this. You guys mean a lot to me to be able to share this with y'all, so thank you. I just spent my clearing talking about how fortunate we all were to be following our dreams, and that we're doing it. We're doing it. We're not sitting home thinking about it. We're not talking about it to anybody else. We're out in a club doing comedy, following our dreams, no matter what sort of excuses we could have to not be there. And man, it just fired me up, and it fired everybody else up, and we had this great evening. And I kind of hit this new sort of note with my performing, where it's becoming a little more conversational. It felt like, you know, I talked about in a check-in that my material felt kind of clunky, and I wanted to talk my way through it more. And I felt like I just made this big jump. I sure like being here with you guys. I like this place. This place is so fucking weird. I just love it. I just love it. I moved out here from Austin, Texas in January. I love it out here. I go to open mics and everybody's so nice to me. They're like friendly and welcoming, and then they find out I'm not industry. Shit changes a little bit, but I made my first Hollywood paycheck this week, you guys. Hell yes. This dude bro in a tricked out G-Wagon rear-ended me and totaled my car, so I'm fucking rich. I'm rich, you guys. Like, I'm doing so well, I'm adding avocado to everything. Like, I'm like avocado for you, avocado for you. Look under your seats, everybody's got avocado toast under there. I'm doing so well. I went to Beverly Hills and I was like, hey, I want to lease an Audi. And they're like, you know, they go, hey, it's a good thing because when you do, you're automatically in a rewards program where you get free Starbucks for driving like an asshole. Pretty cool. So I was down with that. So I'm straight. Sorry, ladies. And I get it. I'm 50 years old. I'm a Los Angeles 5. I mean, I get it. I'm a fucking Home Depot 9, you guys. When I moved out here, I went through this really gnarly breakup, and I'm a pussy when it comes to breakups. Like, she was like, I want to see other people, and I was like, but you already are. And she was like, you're just not romantic. This was when I was still trying to keep her. And I was like, well, what do you mean? What do you want me to do? And she goes, well, like, you never take me anywhere. You never buy me things. You don't do, you don't ask how my day was. You don't quote movie lines to me. Nothing romantic. Okay, I'll show her. So I made reservations at this really nice place. Candles, like violin players walking around, the whole bit, right? 5-course meal, and I was like, how was your day? I got her flowers, like everything. I washed my ass, like I did it all. And right before dessert came, oh, by the way, before, like, I went and watched a bunch of like 80s movies. A friend of mine had a bunch of old like VHS movies, so I was like, loan me some DVDs and some VHS movies. I want to pick up some good movie lines, right? And so right before dessert comes, I leaned across the table, I grabbed her hand, and I said, "That'll do, pig." And so I'm single. But it being a 50-year-old guy in Los Angeles, it's like fucking being Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense. I'm like, do I exist? Can anybody see me? But I was jaywalking on Sunset, and right as I was stepping off the curb, this like super creepy guy pulls up in this pink convertible, and he's like, "Hey, you need a ride?" And it's like, he had that whole vibe like, "I'd fuck me, would you fuck me?" And I was like, I still got it. And by it, I mean enough skin for a good jumpsuit. But I was vindicated, you guys. I love these sidewalk cafes like on Santa Monica, and I live like in I live in the gayest part of the whole world, right? And I fucking love it. Like I'm straight, but like I get it. I'm metro. So we don't use that term anymore because I don't know why. But so I love these sidewalk cafes, and I'm sitting there the other day, and this beautiful blonde girl comes up, and she just sits down with me, and I was like, all right. She goes, hey, do you know where I can find some modeling work? And I was like, no. Like, I get it, I look industry, okay, I get it. But she's like, well, do you want to buy me dinner? And I was like, you know, not really. But inside I'm thinking, I do still got it. Like all the dudes in all the sidewalk cafes in West Hollywood, and my hetero game is crushing. She picked me. And then she got up and walked out and got in a car with some strange dude and drove off. So I was like, oh yeah? Well, I had that hooker back when she was still a model. So I mean, I've been a little freaked out about all the stuff like Charlottesville, all this racism and stuff. But then I realized, like, who the fuck is afraid of 300 crackers with tiki torches? Like, what kind? Come on! We're fucking America. We don't have to be afraid of shitheads like that. Me and a comedian figured out what to do about that. You don't listen. You don't fucking pay attention. You don't go protest. They're assholes. And that's why we have a middle America. That's where they belong. Just keep them there. And they don't fuck with anybody. And they don't have any power. They have the internet. And we created it. And we let them use it. Don't listen. Here's what we do. We send a fucking clown flash mob to the next Klan protest. Yes. So fuck those guys. And clown power. That's how I want to close, is with clown power. Thanks. But I met this really cool guy named Jimmy Shin this week. He's a show producer and a stand-up comedian. And he just gets after it. He's doing it. He's out here. He does shows at the Comedy Store. He does shows at the Improv, and we just really hit it off. And so Friday night, I went to the Tao Comedy Studio like I usually do, and I went up. And then he said, "Hey, come over to the show I'm doing at the Comedy Store at 10 o'clock." I was like, "Great." He said, "I'll put you on the list." And so I went over to the show, and he wound up putting me up at the Comedy Store. But it was great, man. I did comedy 2 more times on Friday. I didn't even expect to do it the second time. It was a long set. It was for the stuff I've been doing, 7 minutes is like, it's a lot of time. I went up last. I did really well. Usually the last slot's difficult, but the audience was still willing to give me some laughs. It was really good. I had a really good time, and I had a lot of fun, and I made a new friend. And then Sunday, I wound up going and kind of working with him in this advanced kind of comedy group. He teaches comedy as well, and we worked bits out, and I kind of found a way to fix up a bit that wasn't quite working, that I didn't have a closing for. It was real productive, and I might play some guitar for this parody thing that he does, and it was just really, 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 really awesome. It was great. Austin is this place where it's like this mythical place. If you've never been to Austin, it's like this liberal oasis in the middle of this horrible fucking Florida-like desert of conservatism and backwardism. But Austin itself is like this beautiful mix of grassy knoll people, you know, conspiracy theorists and hippies, and they become one. And this is the honest to God truth. My next door neighbor used to be Alex Jones. You know what I'm talking about? Alex Jones. So I would be like going out to my car to a gig at night, and then I'd hear, "Hey Dillinger, what's up?" And it's like, oh fuck, every time. Because there was always going to be a conversation like, you know, they're sticking it to us.
They're talking about, they're doing this now. And he would go, come over here, let's stand under the tree where the helicopters can't see us.
So it's been a great week. Here's what I want to try to work on for next week. I'm still in this mode where I'm trying to hit the mics as hard as I can and start booking shows. And I know I have a show booked on the 19th of next month, so I'm just going to hit the mics as hard as I can for the next 3 weeks. And then I'm really going to focus on booking shows and dial my open mics back to just a few. But in the meantime, I'm going to be hitting it hard and heavy, trying to write some new material. My challenge is to make my bits work a little better. And so, thank you again for supporting me and supporting my Patreon. It's real, the info's right here. Just go join. It's a few bucks a month, and it helps me. It'll help me buy some gear, it'll help me pay some bills, and especially on a week like this, you know, I could use any kind of support I got. I'm living the dream, and it puts some karma back on you too. I just really thank you for taking the time to watch this. I can't wait to see what happens between this week and next week. Things have been really magic. I'm excited for you and your dream too, and let me know how I can support you in your dream. Thanks for watching.